are if I was going to make a day a week for City Skylines, it would either have to get rid of the other games day, which means we basically have our 3 games. I shouldn't have slept already. We have our 3 games. Or I would give up one of the project's Zomboid days. And that's been kind of a conundrum. Because a lot of people said they want to see more City Skylines. And I'm not going out in this darkness. We're chilling. We're going to get bored. It's fine. Because when I play City Skylines, I get very... artsy isn't the word I want to use it. Like, I don't go for, like, min-max, what can make you most money. Like, I don't do any of the things where you, like, line up all the toll gates or where you force people to walk through parks or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I just make a perfectly normal city, but I take the time to make neighborhoods that look like neighborhoods. You know, they have, like, little windy roads, retention ponds, lots of trees. Pretty it all up. And people seem to like really like that. Although a lot of people are like, oh, I watched City Skylines a lot before, but it's like never is like this. This is amazing. So it's like, okay, if people dig this, I'd love to do it again. I like City Skylines. I mean, the airport DLC was very disappointing, if I'm being honest, but I like City Skylines. Yeah, so I'll probably put that in Discord, basically be like, here's the schedule, here's the considerations I'm making on changing the schedule. You know, like, let me know what you think. Because it is always... stressful's not the word I want to use, because that, I think, is overstating it. There's a certain level of discomfort when it comes to making changes to your channel, but so it's like, you have to. At the same time, you also want to be deliberate with those changes to make sure there's something good for your channel. And at the same time, you also don't want to be doing the same thing all the time, because that can also be bad. That's all stuff I gotta figure out. Oh, and the moment the stream's over today, I was going to do it before stream, but I didn't have time. Stream started a little late today just because of stuff I had going on in real life. I shouldn't say real life. Stuff I had going on offline. But I do intend on commissioning the next 6 emotes we have for the channel because Twitch was kind enough, well I shouldn't say kind, Twitch did add follower emotes, so they gave us 5 of those. So... I want to commission some emotes to get those filled in, and maybe 1 or 2 of the emotes go, like additional emotes go for the bits. So that way people who donate bits can get emotes, because right now I say thank you and that's what you get for bits. And I know I should have more for that, but I don't know what to do for that because it's weird for me asking for money. I want to just go down a tick, not stop. Yeah, no, and sorry, I backtracked to what you said. Yeah, yo, I absolutely get that. Thick fog, which day? Thick fog tomorrow. Okay, so we make what progress we can today. Tomorrow, we're getting out of here for tomorrow. Thick fog, I do not want to fight in it. I do not want to drive in it. Thick fog is a bad time. So thick fog. So tomorrow is a work on skills day. Maybe mechanic skill? I don't know which skill we're going to be working on. That's fine, they can stay there for now. Hey, lots of zombies suddenly closing in from the riverside? Sure. Forgot to crank the volume up on that. I do it that way, it draws all the zombies out for the trees without requiring me to go in. At this point, we're enough of a menace with our weapons that the fight's not the problem, it's being pulled into fights where you don't want them. And honestly, I'd say, of a lot of players I've seen stream, I tend to be one of the ones not playing Pitch Black who actually does respect the night quite a bit, just because I do keep the brightness down on the night to actually be like, yeah, no, seriously, walking out into that field, cannot see anything. And I know a lot of people, it's not that they necessarily turn up the brightness, it's just their brightness isn't set such that night is actually particularly dark. I will say, though, the one most time, I've mentioned this before on the channel before, plenty of times, one of the most single, like, intimidating times I've had in Project Zomboid for just, like, feeling uncomfortable and anxious was during our def run where we got caught out in the night in a tropical storm. And when I said I could see absolutely nothing, like I just said I have my brightness settings such, like, where I say I could see absolutely nothing, I couldn't see, like, our character, I couldn't see anything, like, not the water, not the zombies, not the train, like, there was no walking home, I couldn't find home. But we got stuck with that, and just, literally all I could do is just stand still with my weapon ready, and just pray the green outline shows up before a zombie reaches us, because, you know, you're deaf, you can't hear the zombie coming, you know, it's pitch black with the, you know, the tropical storm and the night and everything. So you're just kind of like, yep, the only way I'll know a zombie is here is if I suddenly start seeing, like, lots of damage appearing on my character, or if I see a green outline. And no zombie did end up coming. Like, we stayed, like, with our weapon propped up, ready to rock and roll the entire night. I know I have a rip command. It's been so long since we've died. I don't remember what the rip command's even going to show you. I mean, it'll be Project Zomboid, but I don't remember who our last character was. It wasn't Marissa. Yeah, it wasn't Dr. Flanagan. I know she was like the last super painful. Yeah, it would probably be the cryogenic winter character. Maybe. Quincy Vu. The friendship killer. Yeah, there we go. Oh, how that katana just absolutely got us to feeling like we were a superhero and took us down. And I even called it out like 10 times as we were doing it. It's like, I am being reckless, this is dangerous, I'm going to die doing this, and I just kept smashing zombies. Yep. Yeah, and I've done 6 months later quite a bit. I like it. Nah, that's like everything I heard about the challenge sounded good. The one thing was just the Pitch Black Nights from a streaming perspective, I got a lot of pushback on. Which is fine. Like, I want people to tell me saying, hey, like, it's okay, but like the viewing on it is pretty rough. So I had a few people who were like, you know, yeah, if you do that challenge, I might like sit out till the challenge is over just because the night is so rough. And I can respect that. Like, I would rather people tell me that where they're like, hey, look, you can do this if this is something you really want to do, but like, it's not my jam. And that's fair. Like, I genuinely want people to say it. Like, I have a number of people who hop in the channel who like really are nice and support the channel and say, hey, but I'm here to watch Project Zomboid. So when you're not playing Project Zomboid, like, you know, I still support you, but I'm probably going to tune out. And that's fine. I get that. I 100% have been the type of person when it comes to watching stream where it's like I am currently watching Path of Exile or Project Zomboid or whatever, and that's what I'm gonna watch. You know, barring specific streamers who are like, no, that streamer is a gem and I'm going to watch them regardless. Like, they could, you know, be streaming paint dry and still making an entertaining experience because they themselves are that entertaining. But those streamers are few and far in between. That's not negative to all the other streamers. Like, those are streamers that the content they're playing doesn't matter. They are just super entertaining people. And that's not, every stream is not meant to be that either. Like, my stream is not meant to be that. My stream is more about being a chill place, people can learn stuff, you get to see like how I think through things, you know, we have conversations, all that kind of stuff. So I do hope it is an experience that can be fun with a variety of games, especially like games I'm either learning for the first time, so you get to watch as I figure stuff out and talk through it and all that. But I fully accept anytime I switch a game, there's going to be a non-zero number of viewers who are like, no, I'm here for this game, so I'll catch you later. That's fine. Your treachery is noted. No, I'm teasing. I do not have a build command, but I can talk through my build real fast. My build, I will fill in, is not a good build. First off, I'll leave that in. It's not a good build for beginner players. It's not a good build for advanced players. It's just not a good build. It is what I refer to as 0 to hero. The idea is you start with not a single skill book or skill point. You don't start with a single point in fitness. You don't start with a single point in strength. You start with not a team. And from there, you just build yourself up to whatever you can. So I start with unemployed, weak, obese, unfit, and slow healer. So our character is just absolutely in the worst possible shape you can imagine so far as fitness. And I just take a whole bunch of positive traits that are nice, like Cat's Eye for seeing in the dark, Dexterous for faster looting, Outdoorsman, that way it can ignore a lot of weather events, Wakeful, which is kind of annoying, kind of nice. It gives you way more wake hours to deal with a day, which is nice, but it seems like absolutely impossible to manage your sleep schedule long term. No matter what, you always mess up your sleep schedule, and then have to like reset it using alcohol or whatever. Lucky, which effectively means more loot. There's more to it than that, but more loot. Eagle Eye, which makes our cone vision a little bit wider. Fast Learner, which means we level faster. Keen Hearing, which gives us the cone behind us is larger so we can see more. Organize, which gives you extra inventory space. And then Thick Skin, which gives us a small chance that we can just ignore damage or have lesser damage occur when we take a hit. How can you play this? I assume you mean how can I play with no stats whatsoever? Slow and methodically. That's basically all I can say. Slow and methodically. It is a slog at the beginning. I've had many people who have gone, ooh, that build sounds like fun, let me try it. And then they'll check back a couple days to a week later and go, okay, I am never doing that again. How on earth? And it's like, nah, that's fair. The start is painful. Now, if you mean how do I kill, like how do I play this with 16x pop zombies, multiple helicopters, and all that? The answer is also slow and methodical, because you know there's a lot of zombies, and if you take any risks, you will die. Like in this amount of zombies, you have to like mitigate risk at any and all costs. It's just too much of a marathon, like, endurance kind of thing to take chances. Luckily, we repaired 3 machetes. Because I've been accumulating tapes. I was like, alright, let's put that to use. Alright, give me a moment to catch up with chat as I look for the pause button. I know where it is. So Elgoso says, I kind of want to, I kind of want to see what kind of carnage you can inflict after like 2 days in normal survivor run. I will delete the well, I mean, 2 days if I'm doing the 0 to hero, I actually won't do that much. You know, that much because of the low stam, low strength. But once you get up to like these types of points in survivor runs, like I would like this bloodbath that is this road would be a single day, like pretty easy. The Greater Danger says, hey Rawl, I'm off to bed. Please note that I would vote survive on the surely imminent heli. Understood, and I do appreciate the confidence. Dude is Don says, what's the first week priority in this crazy build? If you're talking about when I'm doing 16x pop, my very first week is just, yeah, I was going to say, day one, I lose wherever I'm at because there's too many zombies and you can't fight them. Thank you for the follow, the dude is done. So day one is I loot the house I'm in and I get unceremoniously evicted from town because that's how many zombies are here. There is just no fighting it. I don't care if you cheat and give your character every skill point possible, your weapons will simply break before you get through the zombies. There's just so many zombies. A house's worth of weapons is not going to last a meaningful amount of time. Not till you're like maxed out, not maxed out, really high maintenance, strength, combat skills, all that. So you get evicted from town, fair enough. So from there, I will find some place I can stay, not like a proper base or anything, but a place I can sleep at night and survive. From there, I try and grab like whatever food, water, that kind of stuff. Like a water bottle, if I can get a hold of a water bottle early game, that is a huge win. A couple weapons is really good. And then usually what I'll do is from wherever we manage to get out, I'll just continue to try and attrition down the zombies to push into one of the cities. In this run we did Ekron because for this run, Ekron, in my opinion, is the strategically best choice. It's got a little bit of everything. It's lower zombie pop than the other cities. So, you know, you can go in there. It's not a huge city. They've got a bookstore. They've got guns. They've got weapons. They've got, you know, a hardware store. They've got a gas station with water right next to it. It's center map. So it's got just about everything you could want for this kind of run. You had to show up as I'm looking for this thing. Come on. There's a nightstick here. I want it. Thank you. Yeah, so if we actually look at the path of... I can actually show you the path we took when it started. So I'm using Pill's random spawn mod, so it did end up just spawning in Ekron, which was convenient for us in the pharmacy. So the very first day we went and played, we looted this building, and immediately we aggro, like, literally hundreds of zombies. And I think I had at that point, like, a single frying pan as a weapon, so we didn't bother fighting. So we walked all the way out here, came down to these farmhouses and all this down here, looted that, dragged all the produce from this farmer's market into the ice cream place for the freezers, and so that gave us water, food, and an okay amount of weapons. So from there we kept fighting to try and push in here. Somewhere around 5,000 zombie kills, we completely ran out of stuff, we were running out of food. So we backed off, came down here and grabbed a bunch of stuff out of these houses, brought it over here, and then we pushed into here, and we slowly worked our way through town, you know, hopping a couple houses. Like, we based out of this house for a while, until we were able to push to where we actually built our base up here at the gas station in Ekron. So this would be around 9,000 zombie kills here. Then you can see I didn't even bother hitting these little farms. We just pushed up here to the Riverside Country Club, just attrition through that. Like this, when we get to this point, you know, you're talking like I'm at 4 or 5 maintenance. I'm able to start getting more weapons than we lose. But early, like, we keep running out of weapons constantly. So we're using literally anything I can use to hurt a zombie. A fork? Sure. Why not? Spoon? Hey, times are desperate. Can't be picky. We use many, many, many hand forks, many kitchen knives, many hunting knives. Bread knives got used quite a bit. If it can hurt a zombie, it is A-okay in my book at that phase of the game. And that usually lasts till you get like a couple of crowbars or a couple of decent nightsticks and all that, and you get some maintenance points. That's the point where you're like, okay, I can start being slightly more picky with your weapons. Like, you'll notice I'm no longer picking up kitchen knives or anything like that. We're pretty good on weapons these days. Like, honestly, weapons are a non-problem for me now, because I can just go to the warehouse and stock up if needed. Like, nightsticks, crowbars, and hunting knives are pretty much gold to us at that phase of the game. But one of the nice things about dealing with these level zombie pops is you level up fast because you kill lots of zombies. But yeah, that early phase, like, I will pull like 2 or 3 zombies at a time, fight them, have to sit down for a couple of minutes to recover my stamina. Like, you go for a slog in that early game. Alright, we're starting to get nauseous because rotting corpses, you know, they be like that. I am hoping to be able to push into the Enigma bookstore before we have to back off because of the fog. Shouldn't be too unrealistic. I believe it's the next block of stores after this group of zombies here. Alright, hand axe on that one. We'll try and find that. It's around here somewhere we saw the hand axe. Yeah, like, right at the beginning when you take a location, you just keep kind of circling the building you're at, killing the zombies until there's no zombies near where you're at. I will have to read that in a moment because I got zombies trying to come in at me from both sides at once, which I don't like. Okay. Pandora Starbreeze says, I have never seen such a field of corpses. I will say, Pandora Starbreeze, this has not been our most impressive pile of corpses this run. The one that people have pointed out, they said, no, the one that was the most impressive was the main building of the Riverside Country Club. We had that road like completely 100% covered with bodies the whole way because we kept putting on sirens and helicopters and all that was going on there, and we just kept running through it. Dark Soul P says, what are your thoughts on the strategy of using fire? Does it just lag too much or too cheaty? I wouldn't say the fire is too, like, either of those being the problem. I personally don't like doing burns. And my issue kind of boils down to 2 things. Is one, it doesn't matter how many zombies I put on the map. If I'm doing burns, I can just wipe out, like, the number of zombies becomes irrelevant. Once you start the burn, it's just walking them in circles through the fire. The burn will continue. The zombies will eventually all die. So, to me, it's like, that's not a very satisfying way for me to fight them. But the other issue I have with the burn is, say, like, I'm doing a burn, I'm trying to control it here, and one zombie gets away and gets to this building. Congratulations, this whole building is on fire, and now it's gone. So, like, I don't like burns because of how destructive they are to the map either. So I personally never do burns, but I don't, like, go, oh, how dare you use burns. No, whatever. Like, one of the sayings we bring up on here quite often is, however you're playing the game, if you're having fun, congratulations, you're playing the game correctly. And Pandora Starbreeze says, I can imagine just, like, I've seen the hospital clear and such, and it's sure tons, but it's so spread out. Oh yeah, like this is still, and don't get me wrong, this is probably the second biggest pile of bodies we've had this run. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a significant body pile. It's not like, oh, this is Tuesday. Like, this is significant, but that resort massacre was just, that was something else. Alright, I am appreciating all the contribution of all these spears. Like, you know, thumbs up spears. But I really don't have room for them. So if you could maybe chill with the spears for a minute. Let me get these machetes so I can actually use those spears. I mean, now, if you want to bring me a katana, I am always down for a katana. I will lug heavy load for a katana. Not really, because it'll get me killed. But I will make I will make room in my inventory for the katana. Yeah, bag's full. We're still at fairly heavy load. Okay. Yeah, so we are killing Riverside. Yeah, that building there is where I want to go. There's a bookstore there that I would really like to get to before we have to back out, because the next day we have very thick fog. And so very thick fog I do not want to be in town for. We're going to back off real quick because they're closing in from both sides and I don't like it. Stamina's still good, so we just keep going with the machete. A lot of zombies over there. Cheeky zombie in the tree, don't like it, not a fan, not a fan. Stamina is getting low. We're getting close to our first level of exertion, which I don't want. Oh yeah, the good news is you can at least repair the machete. Well, we got a horde here, so that's... I was going to send the car for stamina, but that's not happening right now. And that's going to probably happen to us a lot, because we're moving into a high pop area on 16x pop. Well, high relative to normal. Like, not high compared to West Point or whatever. I'm going ahead and pushing us into a little ways into moderate exerted, just taking advantage of the machete. Normally I like to switch to hunting knives before I hit that, but the machete's got pretty good crit chance, so I'm just going to lean on it. Oh, we're about to be tired. Boo. We'll just cancel tired for right now. Excuse me, I'm taking my vitamins, trying to be healthy. Go away. That's not what you want to see. So we're trying to stave off sleep for a little while, keep ourselves fed. I am pushing... Oh, we are pushing our exertion way too far. I have to switch to the hunting knife, because we're going to go high exertion if I keep this up. Alright, we've pushed him, so we got aggro on our zombie somewhere. It's really not what I want to see. And thank you for the comment about the compliment about the comments. Shoving can be helpful. Most of the time I turn well before I have to worry about that. You get a feel for what you can get away with after a while. And part of the other thing helping me is my nimble is very high at this point. Well, I should say it's very high. It's at 4, which is significant. Yeah. It's been quite a while since I've been caught from behind turning, though. Not that I don't have the occasional close call. Yep, and that's because we got Nimble 4. We start out with 0, but we've trained ourselves up to it. We're actually halfway to 5. I think it's around maybe 6 or so that you actually will combat speed faster than the zombies can shamble at you. Like, we're already at the point, assuming I'm not tired or sleepy or anything like that, we can actually, if I just keep nimbling backwards, they can't physically catch me. Like, they'll do the grab animation, but I just slip out of range before they can hit. So like once you get to that point, you can get away with a lot of stuff you shouldn't be able to. Yeah, I should have switched to the hunting knife earlier when we were getting close to Exert to keep full damage. But I was greedy. Wasn't expecting to get bullied off of the car, which I should have expected, but you know. Man, we're just aggroing more and more stuff that moved in from the sides. Think of the follow. I will read that name here in a moment. We're just in the middle of it, so, you know, gotta stay alive first. I'll get that shout out for you here in a second. I guess announcement, I don't know. What other words I should use for that? I will recognize it. I don't know. Alright, I'll have to deal with that. Thank you for the follow as well. So thank you for the follow. Oh, it's gonna take me, like, I'm gonna have to pause to read that name. Like, if it's a short name or it's, like, easy to differentiate words thanks to, like, underscores and that, not a problem. But we're talking, looks like that's Pascal case. So, a little tricky. Thank you for the follow. Alright, I'm gonna have a lot of names to read. As soon as these two are done, I'm gonna pause and catch up on all those. It's been a busy day for follows and all that. Thank you so much. I really thank you for the follow. Okay, so time to catch up. Thank you for the follow, Mr. I Can't Beat Dark Souls 2. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow, Pandora Starbreeze. Thank you for the follow, Paul Man Bunyan Man. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow, Gonzo Galaxy. And welcome to the stream to all those people who just followed. And thank you for the follow, DCTF344. Welcome to the stream. I have a strong feeling we're not making it to the bookstore today. Call it a hunch. It may be one of those days that the proud moment is going to be recovering the car that we drove here. And I think there might be a few mods missing from that list. Jarl? So we have Auto Mechanic, which just basically means when I go to train my mechanic, I can right click and say train, and it will just go through and doing the clicks of removing and putting the parts back. Doesn't give me any type of advantage, just saves me clicks because mechanic is very tedious otherwise. I have the advanced, I believe it's advanced volume options or enabler or whatever. It lets me adjust the volume up and down stuff. I use it to turn down stuff like police sirens and horns and other stuff that people typically find obnoxious to listen to on stream because they're just really loud. That's about all I use that for. And I think that might be the only mods I don't mention there. Yeah, if I would have waited and not let myself get exerted, we'd be 2-tapping most of these and the occasional 3-tap as well. But because I did push to exertion, we're at 3 and 4 tapping. Which effectively just means 25% more stabs required to kill them. So, 25% more time to wipe out hordes. Okay. And thank you for everyone who has been tuning in, who's been lurking, who's been chatting, who's been following, subscribing, doing the bits, the hosts, the donos, the raids, and all of that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you're all enjoying the stream. One moment, zombie. I'm eating my cereal. Because y'all won't back off and let me, you know, make a proper salad. Nice. Yeah, the Rosewood is one of the favorite towns for people to start in just because, like, it's easy to find generators there. You have a decent shot at finding the generator manual there. Thank you for the follow. Rose on Fire, welcome to the stream. Alright, we're no longer just queasy. Thank you for the follow. I'm going to have to read that in just a moment. Thank you for the follow. Pat the Mime, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Jarl Namas, or Jarl Noms, Yarlo Noms, I'm sorry. But welcome to the stream, and if you can let me know how to pronounce that, I will try and do better in the future. Otherwise, I can just call you Jarl. Unless that's also mispronounced, at which point, you know, just let me know. So Jarlo Noms? Let's not aggro them. I want to get to my car. I want to go home. We're getting full-on nauseous. I couldn't imagine why. I mean, no, we're not bitten. We haven't been injured. I don't think we've been injured by a zombie yet this run. We've been injured, but it's been tripping over stuff and eating dirt. But standing over literally hundreds and hundreds of decaying corpses in the open street makes your little tummy tum-tum a little unhappy. Please stop, zombies. I just want my car back. And you'll notice it kind of jigged to the side just a little bit as I'm backing up with this. That's because our combat speed's fast enough now. If I go straight back, I actually fall out of range to stab them. So I'm jigging just a little bit to the side here and there to keep them in range, so I get my stabs landed. So we are at that point I can actually exert myself with the hunting knife alone, because I can basically hold the mouse button and land every hit if things go well. Like, timing-wise, I can land every hit. It's just if I actually get the aim right. I don't have to, like, wait, you know, barring when there's not many of them. We aggroed from the side, I hear him. Just gotta take him out to get over that fence though, so he might be alright. Alright, keep taking our vitamins. No sleep. I need to get this vehicle home. Like, I have a backup, I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, and spinning around zombies like that fighting is super dangerous. It's very easy to miss your hits. The longest run I have ever had, which was before I was streaming, was a little bit over a year. I don't have the exact amount, unfortunately. It was just apocalypse settings, nothing special. I need to go slow. As big as these piles are, we can roll our car super easy. But this is our current longest run we've had on stream. Because I almost always do ridiculous challenge runs like this run. So living for ridiculous amounts of time is very difficult. But the reason I'm driving so incredibly slow is not because the bodies hurt my vehicle by just driving over them. They don't. It's because if you drive over corpses quickly, physics can do some weird things. You can very easily roll your car, you can launch, like you can ramp your car into the sky, all that kind of stuff. And while driving over the corpses doesn't damage them, your car slamming into a light post because you went airborne very much damages it. So I had really hoped to have gone to that bookstore, but one skill you'll learn to get in this game to survive longer is know when it's time to quit. And honestly, recovering this car, I probably should have quit in that too, but I am stubborn, and it is what it is. So we will drive over our endless sea of corpses in shame and make ourselves a potato salad while at the wheel. Oh yeah. Yeah, like I've got one of my clips from quite a while back. I have where I took a sports car down this road going eastbound. And we were going at a pretty good speed, but not ridiculously fast. And we launched the car like off its wheels up, and like it turned like on its side in the air, landed like fully turned around facing the wrong way, and we backed into a tree because we just absolutely lost control of the car because, you know, we were in the sky, so like wheels not on the ground don't do great for steering, as one could imagine. Wait. Oh, that's a pipe. That's fine. I don't care about that. Oh, come on. Really? We've had a lot of luck with katanas, so when I saw something silver, I got way too focused on what it was going. Is this a katana? Do we bail out of our car and deal with this real fast, even though I shouldn't? And don't worry, we don't have to drive the whole way home at this speed. And this is the reason we're going back, is that thick fog that's rolling in the morning is a bad time. Not too fast. I learned my lesson the other day. We went to maneuver around some bodies, and that's the reason we're using a different car than we were yesterday. Tree jumped down in front of us. Didn't hurt ourselves, but we made our car really unhappy. It's still in not terrible shape, but the hood's basically all but gone, as is the windshield. I used to take the time to like keep the zombie bodies off the road, so I didn't have to worry about them. But with the amounts of kills we're doing, that's just not something I can manage. But yeah, I don't do burns. I don't deliberately drive over zombies. Like, we probably have a kill count of somewhere in the area of, like, I'd guess 15 or 18 zombies we've killed via car. None were intentional. Just zombies have a habit of running out in the middle of the road as you're driving down the highway at 50 miles per hour in the dark, so you don't see them in time. But we are going back towards our main base. That way we can work on training one of our skills while the weather's all terrible tomorrow. And then we'll get back at it. We've been making really good progress on Riverside. I was not expecting to... Like, I was expecting it to be an absolute slog just to get our foothold. But yeah. Yep, and I will point out, you'll look at the traits right now and you go, wait a second, your points don't make sense. That's because we started as weak, obese, and unfit. And we are all better. We are none of those things anymore because we had our wonderful gym membership that is called the Zombie Skulls that we have been working out every single day of our lives on. And so as time has passed, we've actually gotten pretty good shape. Thank you to follow, Hark V9. Welcome to stream. Can vehicles be a reliable way of killing zombies? Not particularly. The problem is it damages your vehicles as you do it. So inevitably, you'll blow out tires, you'll burst, like damage your engine, whatever. You can certainly kill zombies with cars. Just know you are destroying the car in the progress. And there's ways you can hit the zombie with the back of your car to have it last a little bit longer, do the whole spinning of the back of your vehicle and all that. It does help. No, you can't, Sourfish. There are mods that allow that stuff. But, like, generally speaking, in this game, your primary weapons are using melee weapons and the occasional gun. That's what you lean on the most. Cars and fire are options to kill zombies, but they do have their consequences. The cars, you damage the car, you slowly bust it up. Eventually it becomes non-usable. And then fire, the consequences, fire is A, dangerous, and B, destroys the area around wherever you do the fire. Like, it'll just burn the ground, which isn't a big deal if you just burn the ground, but if any of the zombies get away, they start burning everything. Oh yeah, and a dead car will 100% get you killed. We have had many a death on the stream because a car broke down or stalled at the wrong time. Usually from tires going. Because no matter how careful you are, if you go off-roading at all, you'll just slowly wear out your tires and suspension and that. Alright, we're getting drowsy. Even that, just like, cars in this game are exceedingly dangerous. You can take a perfectly fine run where you've made the entire area around you safe and just throw it away by driving too fast and then losing control of your car and hitting something. What is Order 427? I don't know what you're talking about. My apologies. Oh, yeah, that grayed out text you see on the radio, that's flavor text. It doesn't mean anything. Basically, the things you care about is at the beginning, it'll tell you, like, what your power situation is, and it may say nothing, but it will let you know if it is going out, if it is out. Then it will give you the first day's weather. Then if there's some event coming on the first day weather, like rain or whatever, it'll tell you that. They'll tell you the second day's weather, then if there's any event there. I believe next after that, it'll tell you if there's like a noteworthy weather coming, like a tropical storm or whatever. And then finally, if the helicopter's coming, it'll tell you that. Any other text you see in there is just flavor being like, oh, communication failure, oh, whatever. Let me pause and catch up in stream so I'm not driving while not looking. Custard Beard says, I'm surprised you litter the roads with corpses given the damage they cause driving over them. So actually, and this, I'm someone who did believe that they were causing damage because I heard people I trust both say they did and didn't. We've done a test, and granted, not huge sample size, but done a test where we had like hundreds of bodies in a road and we just weaved back and forth over them, driving at a decent speed, hitting them and all that. Checked all our stats before and after, and saw no damage to speak of. Now, what can cause damage is if you drive over the corpses too fast, you can get your car airborne, up on two wheels, that kind of thing, lose control of your car, and you get where that's going. So the corpses themselves actually do not damage your cars, tires, suspensions, that kind of thing, but ramping your car off of the courses and then slamming into a tree because you no longer have control of your car because you're in the sky, that damages your car pretty badly. And I've certainly put, oh, this sucks. So today's weather is fog. Tomorrow's weather is very thick fog. So we got 2 days that doing stuff is going to suck for like hunting zombies and driving. Typically I use these kind of days for working on skills. You know, the stuff that if you were to try and do all at once would get very boring and tedious. If you just dip your toe in it every so often, not so bad. So the candidates of stuff I probably would work on would be mechanic. As you can see, our wrecked cars over here we've been disassembling. Or metalworking. And of course, you have to take pride in your flamboyance. You know, you can't not have flamingos. Come on. Oh, I should top off the gas. Turn off our radio. Now, before we do the gas, we just do a nice little walk around here. It's very difficult for me to see. I do have a filter on OBS that makes the brightness about 20-25% brighter for all of you than me. So when I say, like, this isn't too terrible actually, but when I say sometimes I just cannot see zombies in the fields and grass when it's dark, I mean, like, absolutely cannot. I will walk, I will hear a zombie, and you will just see me run in a direction. That means I couldn't figure out what direction the zombie was from me because I couldn't see it. And so I ran in, like, just ran with the hopes that I would shove the zombie if it was in my way. That's actually one of the few things I use running for, is very specifically when I need to get past a zombie. You know. Yep. And I mean, to be fair, in real life, these very much get in your way of seeing what's going on the other side. So you are vulnerable in real life when you're trying to gas up a car because your back is to the pumps. Well, potentially your back is to the pumps, assuming you're facing your car. You can't see through the pumps. But yeah. Gas stations are super dangerous. Alright. Conditions fine. Gas is fine for now. How are we doing on our fruits and veggies on us? We are out of radishes again. And I can't fit more in a... Oh, right, because we found a whole bunch of spears. Let's ditch some of the stuff. Yep, oh, so that would be Rosewood. Rosewood is a very generous place. Alright, so let's ditch... Oh, first, get rid of the axe and the garden hose. They be heavy. We'll put the hand axe away. Because those are all weapons. I mean, the garden hose we had with us, but those are all weapons we found. Because we found 3 spears, so that'll help. I'm actually going to grab a couple more knives. Because I like to have those in stock. We're pretty good there. Put away our shotgun shells. Oh yeah, if people are new, Like, rosewood is fantastic for so much. I don't think I have a new katana to add to the collection. No, not at the moment. Yeah, we'll just shovel that whole salad in our mouth all at once. I shouldn't be putting so much effort into not using the non-perishables, but I mean, I still have potatoes from before the winter started, so. Oh, right, the radishes are still frozen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me well, I can go ahead and show off the base for a little bit real fast. So I've got all my rain barrels on the roof. All these things are hooked up, so there's 400 water to each end and every one of them. I've got my radio here for the emergency broadcast channel. We've got the katana bed, which is currently rocking 14 katanas that we found this playthrough. And I will note I have no mods that are affecting the item tables or items in the game or anything like that. That's just when you kill almost 29,000 zombies, you find katanas. We have our wonderful painting we took. That's not particularly interesting, but you know. I'll also point out, this is Dr. Ellen Ennis. As you can look on this wall, we have a surgeon degree and certificate. And a doctor degree certificate. Most people have to go to college for, 8+ years, then you got your residency and all that kind of nonsense to get your doctorate. Not Dr. Ellen. She took a crowbar, walked into the pharmacy, smashed some skulls, and now she's a doctor. So back here, we've got all our storage. So I've got all of my weapons that go on the side. I've got 2 boxes of guns. These are the weapons that go in the back. Various electronics crap. This is all not used yet. Over here, I actually have a firefighter outfit, but I'm not using it. Got tailoring stuff, medicine, planting, trapping, and all that. This is going to be for plastering our walls. Random bits and baubles for, like, nails, all that garbage. And eventually, I keep telling myself I'm going to put books here, but by the time I do, we won't need them. I'll put a television here and more bookshelves. It'll be nice. Eventually, I'm going to move the katana, like, showroom in here. Because as you can see, the bed situation is getting a little dire. We are running out of bedroom for our katanas. We've got our fishing spot right here. Nice and right there. I've got my freezers. I've apparently blown a light bulb, so I will fix that real fast. Can I place items on top of water? Ooh, I've never actually tested that because I've never thought to do that for any reason. I'm sure there are items that might look good on top of water. So now we put a new light bulb in, turn on our light. Okay. So we've got our 1.5 freezers. Zombies happened. We've got our drink freezer, which normally has much more in it, but you know, we are at the end of winter. We are tapping out on our food reserves. So yeah, we got a bunch of rain barrels here. That's all supplying those sinks inside. 2 of them aren't actually hooked up. I had an antique stove in there I forgot to mention. This is our farm area. We're not currently using it because it's winter and it takes forever and I couldn't, like, I am not manually watering all my plants. I'm gonna see about this placing on top of water. So let's grab one of these spears. No, it just red outlines. You can't. Good to know. It was worth testing. Yeah, and then I just got a bunch of plaster here so we can plaster these walls up.